Hey, what's up, everyone? There's a lot of Pokemon that have been announced for Pokemon Sun and Moon. A lot of returning ones, a lot of cool new ones. Um, and I really would like to take the time to just talk about them. Go in depth about their movesets, their abilities, and how useful or viable they are in the metagame. And this is looking really good because a lot of these Pokemon are getting some unique abilities that I think are awesome. Personally, I think, around 30, I think 30% of them are gonna be top tier. Um, but what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go through the list and talk about them individually. Um, I'm gonna assume their final evolutions or I'm gonna guess upon their final evolution. For example, Picky Peck, its final evolution, it has the ability Skill Link. So we're gonna just start here with Picky Peck. It has Skill Link, so it's normal flying. I'm gonna assume it just has Fury attack. Like, I can't imagine it having any other attack. Maybe it'll have Tail Slap if it gets a big ass tail when it evolves. That would be nice because Tail Slap is pretty powerful. Outside of that, I can't really. Oh, it's gonna get a maybe it'll get a unique pecking move since it's a woodpecker. That would be interesting. It has another ability. Yeah, Kenai. Kenai is garbage, so it's got Skill Link. There's nothing really much to say. He's pretty damn basic. But we're just gonna move up the list. Well, first I'm gonna get the starters out of the way. I can't really talk about the starters because they're literally just starters. The only thing I can mention is that Rowlet is the coolest one there. If you don't pick Rowlet, then you're screwing up. But the thing about Rowlet is his typing is a bit off. He's pretty weak to a lot of things. So I don't think he's going to have good defenses at all. So hopefully he has some good attacking stats and a new hidden ability. Gale Wings, please. That'll benefit him really nicely. But I'm not going to talk about the starters. They can wait until they're revealed or whatever. And also I need it. There's no stats for these things. I can't really guess their stats. I'm just going to assume their stats based on what they look like. Anyway, we'll check out Cutie Fly. I don't know what to think of its design. It's cool. I like how they're basing it off the real animal, and the real animal to me looks pretty damn fascinating. I really want to see that thing in real life. But it has an interesting typing. I mean, they seem to be slapping fairy types and dragon types on everything now. But it gets shield dust, so it's an average ability. It doesn't really benefit. It might evolve, but it doesn't really benefit it that much. If you want to avoid a secondary, status that's coming upon a move, you probably want to switch out. You're not going to be staying in with. Hell, I don't know how its defenses are. You could come into a Scald, but I still don't think it's going to take a Scald very well. So yeah, I don't think it's going to benefit from that very well. I have a bad feeling about this Pokemon. He's not going to be that good in the metagame. But hopefully I'm wrong. But let's move on to Broxish. Now, I actually really like this Pokemon's design. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, this thing looks dopey. This thing looks stupid." A lot of fish in the sea are really silly and weird looking, and I like how Game Freak do this, and they make a lot of fish Pokemon and water Pokemon look really weird, like they actually do in the sea. It's got the big lips. I don't know about the big lips, but I can handle it. So to me, it's appealing on the eye. I would like to use it. It's got a really cool ability, Dazzling. So it completely walls That's what the description says. But it completely walls priority moves. So he's a psychic type. He's not going to get sucker punched. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing for him. You know, pincers, quick attack. You can switch into a Zoomerel, I guess, pretty reliably. He might counter a Zoomerel pretty well, depending on his stats. He might have garbage stats. That's pretty much it. He walls a lot of Pokemon, you know, Scizor. I'm not going to name them all, but I like what they're doing with him. Or her. Probably her. Strongjaw, to be honest, it'll learn Ice Fang maybe. I'm going to assume it learns Bite or Crunch later on, but I really don't think it's going to benefit from it that much. It's a psychic type, so it makes me believe that it's a special attacker, not so much a physical attacker. But you know, I really like it, and let's just move on. Well, I'm not going to talk about the Alolans yet. I'm just going to stick with the new Pokemon for now. So we got Wishy Washy. Now, its basic form, I don't know what to think. It looks like it's pretty damn weak. Its form looks like it's a top tier Pokemon, but this looks like it's a bottom tier Pokemon, and its ability does seem pretty limited. I don't mind its design, but its school form. This thing looks really cool. It just I do have a problem with it, that there is multiple fish around it. I feel like that breaks the conventions of the battle. Like you can't have like 50 different, assuming they're Pokemon, but you can't have 50 different Pokemon attacking one. I feel like that doesn't make sense. I hope they have some sort of explanation for it, but it just seems like, oh yeah, it's ganging up on one Pokemon. But I'm just gonna ignore that for now and assume it's a single Pokemon. This thing looks amazing. I mean, it looked like it did so much damage to the Gyarados in the trailer. Now this thing, it looks like once it gets down to a certain amount of health, it's the school. I think it's when it gets hit, the school's gonna go away, and this thing is just gonna be shit in some way. I think this thing, it's gonna be lacking when it comes to that form. Let's hope it's not though. I really hope this thing becomes a top tier Pokemon. Okay, so we got Puking Miku now. I really like this thing's design. You know, cucumbers are generally disgusting, hideous, terrifyingly ugly monsters in the sea, but this it's pretty adorable actually. It looks like it's weak as hell. I think this thing is gonna have awful stats. Absolutely awful. But in its out ability, I think it's actually gonna be a pretty good suicide lead. If it looks like it'll be able to set up spikes, just, you know, you look at it and you think, oh, that thing's gonna put some spikes up. What if it learns toxic spikes? That would be pretty good. But yeah, to me it's like a suicide lead. So you get him in, you set up, and if he gets taken out, he might take out the next Pokemon or weaken it pretty well. I'm really excited to see what this Pokemon can do. I hope it does pretty well. But let's keep going. What is this thing? I can't remember. Morlul. This thing obviously looks like a pre-evolution of something. Illuminate useless. Now it's typing. Again, they're just slapping fairy onto Pokemon. That's fine. I mean, the fairy type is one of them. Fairy and dragons are the most powerful typing in the game. So just by giving it a fairy type automatically buffs it. But you know, it gets Spore. So it's a fairy type and it has Spore. So automatically it seems it might be pretty damn good. Effect Spore, I don't know how that's gonna work. In terms of, I'm talking about Smogon rules really. You know, you're not allowed to put a Pokemon to sleep twice, yeah? So I feel like that would, I don't know if Effect Spore is banned or not. I haven't done the metagame in a long time or played it that much. I've just been focusing on VGC, whatever. I lost at a tournament. I'm not that I'm not that crazy, but I am interested in the whole metagame. I do follow it pretty well. I don't think this thing is going to be good. It might be alright when it evolves, if it does evolve. I think it will, but I still don't think it's going to be that good. It might be. If it gets Moonblast, which pretty much every fairy type gets, it might be pretty good. There's not much to say about it. It's a flower with 3 mushrooms. Alright. This is gonna be the last Pokemon for this video. So we got these 4 birds. Now I find these birds, I'm going to talk about the design. I'm not the greatest fan of the design. What's this one? He's ghost type, eh? Yeah, the ghost flying one. I'd say it's the best design of them, but I'm still not the biggest fan. Ghost flying, I don't know. I can't think of the weaknesses off the top of my head, but you know, it's gonna get killed by knockoff. You know, yeah, that's pretty much it, eh? The dancer ability is pretty interesting though. If something sets up with Swords Dance, or you switch in, you know, we got who uses sword? You know, we got Pinsir. Pinsir's probably just gonna knock it out if you manage to switch into it. Even if it does copy a Swords Dance or something, that Pokemon that used it before it is probably already buffed up, ready to KO this bird when it comes in. So I don't know if its ability is actually going to be any good. What's the typings again? So we got Psychic, Ghost, Knockoff. Those 2 are dead. They're the worst ones, I'm pretty sure. Fire type. Maybe they get unique moves. That would be interesting, because this thing might learn Fiery Dance. Maybe. They could learn Quiver Dance. I doubt it, because their ability is the whole copy thing. But if this thing learns Fiery Dance, or they get a unique, they do have a unique move, I'm pretty sure. Can't remember off the top of my head. I'm not going to read through it. But I think these things might have some potential. I think one of them is going to be good, and the other 3 are just going to get thrown in the garbage. I don't know which one. I'm not going to brainstorm right now, but yeah, I just hope for the best. That's all with these pokes. I'll be making extra videos, I guess, on the rest of the Pokemon, but for now I'm going to pack it in. So thanks.